First you're going to sew row 1, and then you're going to sew row 2, and then you're going to sew row 3. And what you're going to find when you line these particular pieces up, you're going to want to line up the outside tip just like that, and you're going to find that the triangle is a little bit bigger. I call these weirdo shapes that don't line up. When you're sewing a LeMoyne, this is what I want you to burn into your mind. You always, always, always line up the outside tips, you sew the outside seams, and then you sew the belly of the star. I'm going to go to my machine. I'm going to sew number 1. One thing I want to point out on my Bernina is that I love the 1/4 inch foot because it's got this big wide opening here, but also this is it's got markings here that you could use instead of the pencil mark, but I like the pencil mark. But also right up here is this little itty bitty indentation, and that is your 1/4 inch lead in. If you have a sewing machine that has a 9mm wide feed dog, you're going to want to get a single whole throat plate, or else it's just going to chew your star tips up like crazy. If for some reason your star tips get eaten up, chances are you need a brand new needle. So I'm going to go up to the dot, which I'm not really sure if the camera can see or not, and I'm going to take a back stitch. Do not overstitch it. Again, I am going to line up the tip right up here, the outside tip, and then I am going to feed it in, starting all the way from the edge and back stitching at the dot. You will do this with all 4 segments. Okay, now I'm going to cut them apart. And I'm going to be very careful on how I handle these because I don't want things to stretch. All right, now it's time for the red hand side. And what you're going to do is you're going to, again, line up the outside point, but now you're going to want to sew it from this, let me get this in here, from the center out. Well, I can't see the dot where it is back stitch, so I'm going to flip it over, and there you can see the dot, and now I'll start there and stitch out. Again, back stitch. If your machine takes an extra step, and some machines do, plan ahead. I would not use a tack stitch. I would use a back stitch and do 2 or 3 stitches because you may overstitch and you may have to release those stitches. People wonder what Bernina I sew on, and I'm currently sewing on a 630. I absolutely love it. Has the 5mm wide feed dogs. It was a gorgeous machine. I had a 440, loved it, but I thought I'd want to give this a try, and whoo-hoo. There we go. Another tip I do is I'll end with a little hunk of cloth like this, and I won't waste thread because thread is expensive and it keeps me from getting thread knots. All right, so now I'm going to cut them apart again. And now I'm going to do the last seam, and that is the belly of the star. Now here's the deal. You want to be able to see the background when you fold and when you've gently folded apart. If you have overstitched, you're going to need to take your seam ripper and just release that, because if you don't, it will not fold nicely together. So what you're going to do is fold it together like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You're going to stitch all the way from the raw edge and come down, and right before that final stitch is down here, just stop and back stitch. Wherever there's the dot, whether you can see it or not, back stitch. So again, we've done the outside seams first and then the inside seam. Put that in your mind. Uh-oh, that one I've overstitched. Now I've got to find myself a seam ripper. No, I'll use my scissors. See, just go like that, and release it. I did that on purpose for you. If things aren't lining up, you've probably cut something wrong. And again, these are biases, so be very, very, very careful. Or they are potential biases. Ooh, I way didn't stitch that one, but I'll be fine, not to worry. And are you thinking, is there going to be a hole? Yeah, but no big deal. And now it's time to press for the first time. So let's go over to the ironing surface, okay?